Could someone online talk? We can hear you sound over the PA system, please.
Good evening, Ben.
Hello.
Hi, Ben.
You guys,
Oh,
good.
can you hear me? It's Amy.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hey, look who's back.
Okay, can everyone hear me okay? Yeah, it's picking up the microphone. Awesome,
I hear you.
thank you.
Ready?
Test, 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 test. Okay, we're good.
Okay, we're good. I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call by the county clerk.
Supervisor Jones? Here. Supervisor David?
Here.
Supervisor Brockworth?
Here.
Supervisor Morris? Oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot. Supervisor Kelly? Oh, yeah, he's not here. Supervisor Hurst?
Here.
Now Supervisor Morris. Supervisor Mickey. Supervisor Renard, who's Zoom.
Here.
Supervisor Zastro. Supervisor Johns.
Here.
Supervisor Smith.
Here.
Supervisor Merchant. Supervisor Lund. Supervisor Coots.
Here.
Supervisor White.
Here.
Supervisor Drano.
Here.
Supervisor Backlund. Supervisor Kennard. Supervisor Paulson. Supervisor Jacob. Supervisor Wendell. Supervisor Felter. Okay. Supervisor Fitzgerald. Supervisor Nealon. Supervisor Schultz. Supervisor Roberts.
Here.
And Supervisor Christensen.
Here.
We have 27 present and 3 absent.
Pledge allegiance, please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag of the United States of America.
Okay, we compliance with the open meeting law.
We are, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
I'll make that motion.
Moved by Morris, who is the second? Supervisor Christensen. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. The agenda is approved. Approval of minutes from July 14, 2020. Supervisor Nard.
I'll move approval of the minutes as presented.
Second by Supervisor Morris. Any discussion, changes? Errors? Seeing none. All in favor of approval of the minutes of July 14th, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. Communications, Treasurer's monthly report. And The zoning committee notice of public hearing for August 20th. The zoning committee will be meeting Thursday, August 20th at 7 p.m. Public hearing. Is there any public comment tonight for items on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to committee reports, resolutions, and ordinances. Highway Committee, Supervisor Jacob.
Resolution number 2020-17, authorization for the Highway Department to enter into a contract for iron rock crushing. The Highway Department leases the quarry on Highway J. Leases the Highway Department leases the quarry on County Highway J and receives iron rock crushing bids from vendors every 2 to 3 years to replenish its inventory. For 2020, the vendors were asked to provide bid numbers that include crushing several grades of lime rock, including large riprap. This resolution authorizes Jefferson County Highway Department to enter into a contract with Beyond Limestone for limestone crushing in 2020. The Highway Committee met on July 28, 2020, and recommended forwarding this resolution to the County Board for approval. Whereas the executive summary is incorporated into this resolution, whereas the Highway Department has solicited bids for crushing approximately 110,000 tons of lime rock and 5,000 tons of riprap. And whereas the Highway Department opened bids on July 23rd, 2020 with the following results. And whereas Beyond Limestone was the lowest responsible bidder, now therefore be it resolved that Jefferson County Highway Department is authorized to enter into contract with Beyond Limestone for limestone crushing in 2020. This will note adequate funds are available in the Highway Department budget for this contract. I move for approval of this resolution.
Second by Supervisor David. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, resolution passes. Resolution 2020-18, updating Jefferson County Parks, Recreation, Open Space. Law enforcement, law enforcement. Supervisor Morris, resolution awarding a contract to jail medical services. I believe that's the yellow sheet.
Okay.
Bye.
I'm reading from the yellow sheet. This is resolution 2020-18. I correct that? Entering into a contract with Southern Health Partners to provide inmate medical services in the Jefferson County Jail. Executive summary. Jefferson County and the Jefferson County Sheriff have a fiduciary responsibility to provide medical services for those who are in custody in the Jefferson County Jail. Those services are currently provided by multiple providers to include contracted medical professionals who provide pharmaceuticals and medical services, daily nursing services provided by county nurses, and mental health services provided by the Jefferson County Human Services Department. Over the last several months, the county administrator, the sheriff's office, human services department, health department, finance department, and human resources department considered options to better provide these services to inmates at the Jefferson County Jail. It was determined that the best practice is to provide these services through one provider for a variety of reasons, to include staffing challenges, comprehensive and transitional care under one provider, and reduce liability risk to the county. Currently, Jefferson County nursing services are not covered by the general liability policy of the county through Wisconsin Municipal Mutual Insurance Company. Because of this, the county must purchase an additional policy with limited coverage. In addition to staff's recommendation, it is also the recommendation of the inmate that the county outsource all inmate medical services. The quotes received include the cost of malpractice and liability insurance for the medical services provider, as well as a requirement for the provider to indemnify the county for medical malpractice or negligence claims by inmates. Jefferson County issued a request for proposals, which was publicly advertised and posted on the county's website, as well as provided to medical service providers who had previously expressed interest. 3 proposals were received. Proposals were reviewed by staff, and it was determined that Southern Health Partners was the lowest responsible bidder. The request for proposals required all bidders to provide options for various other services to include pharmaceuticals and additional off-site care, in addition to the primary medical services being provided. Funds not used during the fiscal year will be returned to the county. The county has allocated funding for these services in the 2020 budget through the use of carryover funds. The selection process included contacting the current client of Southern Health Partners who gave positive feedback as to their performance, both in inmate care and responsiveness to jail management. The Sheriff's Office also contacted Southern Health Partners to discuss adjustments to the cost based on the jail's daily population due to COVID, which Southern Health Partners is willing to negotiate. The anticipated start date is October 15, 2020. The Law Enforcement Committee reviewed the proposals at its meeting on August 7, 2020, and recommended forwarding this resolution to the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors to approve entering into a contract with Southern Health Partners to provide inmate medical services in the Jefferson County Jail. On the backside, you can see the vendors and the whereases and the now therefore, and the fiscal note. The fiscal impact of this resolution will not exceed $132,325 for the remainder of the 2020 fiscal year. Adequate funds are budgeted for 2020 in the Sheriff's Department for inmate medical services. The amount of $639,130, which includes a 3% cost increase beginning on the second year contract, will be included in the 2021 budget. I move for adoption of resolution 2020-18.
Second by Supervisor David. Any discussion, questions, concerns? Supervisor Smith.
In a year, how many people go through the jail?
So I'll start, I'll have Chief is coming up here. So in our RFP, we use what's called the average daily population. So our average daily population with adult beds is about 170. So that includes our county inmates, potentially state contracted inmates that we also house as well. So that was the basis for the numbers for the contract. Right now, we're roughly at 90 is what we use as a number, but we expect that's gonna grow as we bring back fever and court system starts to.
So was your question, how many are we having right now versus on an annual basis? You know, that answers my question. Okay, all right. Yeah, right now we're at a daily population of approximately 90 inmates. And Southern Health Partners is willing to look at that with us in an incremental bump. And they'll reevaluate how much that goes up on an incremental bump by our average daily population as we start bringing in inmates due to the courts reopening themselves and us reestablishing our population going up based on that. And yeah, yes.
The short answer is yes. We have a variety of line items that currently feed into the medical providing services for the inmates. So there was the public health numbers that's in for jail nurses. We also currently have a contract that's found both in the Sheriff's Department budget, regular operations in jail, and also in jail session of roughly 170,000, I would say, that provides a current contract medical provider. And then we have some dollars allocated over the services. So we're pretty comfortable with the funds that are available. It's going to take us to the end of the year. You also may recall that it talks about this carry over at the beginning of this year. We allocated about $100,000 towards this transition specifically for pool money. So that's kind of highlighted in the back. So when we look at the three vendors quotes, you see NEND says $644,000 plus pharmaceutical. They did not give us a full cost. That's what that pharmaceutical and other medical services would come from. ACH, their cost includes that full number, and they estimate that's $84,000, so that's built into that $702,000. And then the Southern Health Partners, their base cost, which is what was asked for, that 651 includes a $60,000 pool. And that pool dollars is what they come back to the county general, depending on how often that is.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Seeing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes. And, Mr. Morris, ordinance. Sorry, it's a resolution authorizing negotiations for public-private partnership for communication system towers. That was the blue sheet.
Resolution 2020-19, executive summary. Jefferson County has been working toward the development of a new P25 digital radio communication system, which was approved on December 10, 2019 by the county board. In the preliminary design work, it has been identified that additional and/or replacement tower sites would be needed to complete the project in the Palmyra area, Cambridge, Oakland area, and a tower constructed at the Sheriff's Office Annex for communication to the Sheriff Dispatch Center. During the design and development phase of this project, tower locations that meet the required specifications have been identified, and initial conversations have taken place with property owners who are willing to work with the county to provide sites for tower construction. In addition, the design process has identified a suitable tower location in Johnson Creek where communications equipment to be installed as part of this project. Further, there may be an opportunity to partner with a private entity which may reduce the cost of equipment and construction of towers. At the November 11, 2019 County Board meeting, the County Board authorized the county to apply to the Wisconsin Public Service Commission for a broadband grant and also endorsed a partnership between Jefferson County and Internet Providers Networks LLC and Virtual Communications LLC. This partnership and grant application, as discussed in the board resolution from November 11th, envisioned a partnership of co-locating broadband systems with the P25 digital radio system to maximize the investment and provide needed broadband services to Jefferson County. Despite not receiving the broadband grant, conversation continued with Bertram Communications LLC regarding its desire to partner with Jefferson County in building communication towers. One idea proposed involves Bertram Communications constructing the towers on behalf of Jefferson County based on county specifications with a cost-sharing arrangement to install county communications equipment. If the county is unable to finalize terms of a partnership agreement with Bertram Communications and/or such an agreement would not be in the best interest of the county, Jefferson County would then be solely responsible for construction of the needed communication towers. The Law Enforcement and Emergency Management Committee considered this resolution added to the meeting on August 7th, 2020, and recommended forwarding to the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors to authorize the county administrator to, 1, negotiate terms for the purchase and/or use of land to construct a communications tower at the location in Palmyra, may include negotiating a public-private partnership agreement with Bertram Communications to share in the cost of constructing a communications tower, and number 2, negotiate terms for the purchase or use of land to construct a communications tower at a location in the village of Cambridge, which may include a public-private partnership agreement with Bertram Communications to share the cost of constructing a communications tower, and number 3, negotiate terms for Jefferson County to install communications equipment on a tower owned by Bertram in Johnson Creek, and number 4, negotiate terms for a public-private partnership agreement with Bertram Communications to share in the cost of constructing a tower at the Sheriff's Office Annex site, and number 5, negotiate terms with the state of Wisconsin and UW-Whitewater for the use of UW-Whitewater Residence Hall to install communication equipment. Okay, and so we have the 2 resolve statements and then the fiscal note. Funds for the acquisition of tower site and construction of the towers have been included in the project budget that was outlined in the Series 2020A bond issue. Adequate bond funds exist in the capital project fund to finance the acquisition of tower sites and construction of towers specified in the original project plans. Jefferson County anticipates that additional costs initially borne by the county for modifications in scope to the project plan to accomplish mutual public-private partnership goals, should any arise, will be recuperated through negotiations with the private entities involved. I move for the adoption of resolution 2019.
Second. Mr. Wendell, the first hand up. Any discussion or question? Supervisor Martin?
Mr. Chairman, I just had a question. 2 areas that are challenges for broadband right now include sections of town of Lake Mills and sections of town of Exonia. So would the proposed communication tower sites cover these 2 areas? Thank you.
At this point in time, what we're proposing is this negotiation would not specifically cover those sites. Specifically, what we looked at was the alignment of the needs of the communication towers and those needs that were outlined in the broadband grant application that is aligned right now. That does not mean that we are looking actively at those sites as part of potential grant application of the partnership going forward. It's just a matter of We have to get these towers installed for both Elmira area and Beaver Wilton area for our communication system. More importantly, as a result of the opportunity to purchase our broadband.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, resolution passes. That takes us to resolution 2020. Updating Jefferson County Parks and Recreation Open Space Plan, Supervisor John.
Resolution number 2020. The Jefferson County Parks Department has a history of planning for the future. The focus of Jefferson County's Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Plan is to preserve natural resources while providing outdoor recreation. This plan includes a park, a trail network, and cities, villages, and hamlets, which will benefit not only local residents, but also draw visitors who want to experience nature, walk and bike on off-road trails and visit local establishments. This is the fourth Jefferson County Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Plan that has been completed, with prior plans approved in 1997, 2005, and 2013. Jefferson County is currently in the implementation phase of the 2013 Jefferson County Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Plan and the Glacial Heritage Area Plan. This resolution updates the existing Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Plan for the purpose of identifying future countywide recreational needs and opportunities, including potential park acquisition areas and to qualify for federal, state, and local grants, and funding to further develop the plan. The Jefferson County Parks Committee considered this resolution at its meeting on August 3rd and recommended forwarded this County Board for adoption. Now therefore be it resolved that the proposed updates to the 2020 Jefferson County Parks, Recreation, Open Space Plan are hereby adopted. Fiscal note, adoption of this plan does not commit Jefferson County to any future expenditures. All future projects and acquisitions will need County Board approval at the time they are proposed. An updated plan is necessary to continue to qualify for state and federal grants. I move to adopt this resolution.
Second from Supervisor Christensen. Any questions? Discussion? No, Mr. Khan, you're right behind that screen here. I can't see.
On page 38. Small acres per population. Using population that gives the whole county. On the state, you don't include acres figures from city, village, in our wildlife service market. What that is, if you're using the population of everybody out there, all the parks in the building. Some towns, some towns have more, some towns have some.
Specific answer. The planner is not here, nor is there a representative from the Parks Department. You can answer that question.
Okay, John.
John, we'll get you an answer. Any other questions? Questions? Any further discussion? All in favor of adopting this plan, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the plan is adopted. And resolution 2020-21, Parks Committee, amending the Jefferson County Parks Ordinance for the release of wild and domestic animals in county parks.
This is the ordinance.
I'm sorry. Ordinance number 7.
So the Parks Department staff has received reports of live wild animals being released from Jefferson County Parks. This ordinance amendment is intended to help maintain a healthy balance of wild animals in county parks by prohibiting the release of wild and domestic animals. This will allow members of the public to continue to enjoy the park system, the county park system, by preventing domestic animals and excessive wild animals from interfering with the peaceful enjoyment of park visitors. The Parks Committee considered the ordinance amendment at its meeting on August 3rd and recommended board approval. Domestic animals or animals that have been live captured may not be relocated or released in any Jefferson County Park or recreation sale. This ordinance shall be effective after passage and publication as provided by law. I move to pass this.
For a second. Second by Supervisor Morris. Any discussion? Supervisor Roderick?
It doesn't have any penalty. So what's the point of the ordinance?
We did not discuss a particular fine or anything like that. We did discuss different, every release of a wild animal or just a domestic animal would be separate. You know, so somebody's letting go one little raccoon or somebody's letting go 12 groundhogs, it would be probably something different. So I really don't have an answer for what that fine or like we should impose a fine. Right now we want to get it published. The public knows that this is something that the county parks does not want to deal with. Talking to the maintenance folks and Kevin, especially with groundhogs and certain animals, they do create a lot of damage. Large holes in the paths or large holes in the structures. So as we all know, you know, groundhogs, they cause a lot of problems. So I don't have a specific answer on a penalty of any kind. I think it's getting the word out to the public and to see how it goes.
Supervisor Roderick, you do have all of our corporate councils online. Larry, Elena, want to step in on this one? Hold on. This Blair was, she's the J number. Elena, Blair?
Come on, Blair.
So there's under section 8.15, there's a penalty section of the general parks ordinance, which this is the amending. And so it says the following in terms of penalty that typically include of any person violating any provision of this ordinance shall upon conviction be subject to a court fine not less than $25 nor more than $200. Penalty assessment and cost of prosecution, the default of fee of such forfeiture penalty assessment caution and the imprisonment in Jefferson County Jail. So such forfeiture and costs are paid. Such imprisonment shall not exceed 90 days. And then sub 2, parent 2, in addition to issuing citation, other methods of forfeiture enforcement, the parks director, designee, or county law enforcement officer may also issue a violation notice to a person violating any provision of the ordinance. This notice fee should be $25. If the notice fee is not paid within 5 days, the notice and citation, other methods of forfeiture collection shall be used. In place in the penalty section of the
whole.
Yeah, it's an amendment to that ordinance already there. Because it's right, it's not a new ordinance, it's just an amendment. Supervisor Perry, good handle that.
I just wanted to say that people still trap these animals and you need a place to let them go. We have a lot of them that go at the end of our dead end road, and I have to deal with them. Especially cats are a nuisance because they kill chickens and things like that. I don't know what the solution is, and I understand the park committee's recommendation. I voted against it in committee. I'll probably vote for it for tonight. But just pushing the problem off on somebody else is not the right solution. There should be some answer better than that. I don't know what it is, though.
That's why I supported dancing at my house. Supervisor, we can't hear you. Use this mark.
agree.
That came up in a meeting about trying to find a central location where residents of the county can take that animal. And I think the issue was it's a very large county, and was to be used with a lot of animals. Southeast West. But now that the location one, all these would be brought to mayhem in that area. So it's just been come up in my area.
I just got a message from somebody and it's very hard to hear the audio.
Do we have a problem with people bringing domestic animals on drugs, pets, or parks? Yeah, just let them release them.
Any further questions? See no further questions? All in favor of this ordinance, say aye.
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 Opposed? I have two, that I can hear, so it passes. Three, four. Planning and Zoning Committee. Supervisor Jacob. Report on approval of positions and the ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Report to the honorable members of the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors. The Jefferson County Planning and Zoning Committee having considered petitions to amend the official zoning map of Jefferson County filed for public hearing held on July 16, 2020, as required by law pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute. Notice thereof having been given, being duly advised of the wishes of the town boards and persons in the affected area, hereby makes the following recommendation. Approval of petitions as listed. Dated this 27th day of July 2020, Blaine Paulson, Secretary. Move on to ordinance number 2028, amending official zoning map. Whereas Jefferson County Board of Supervisors has heretofore petitioned and amended the official zoning map of Jefferson County, and whereas petitions as listed were referred to the Jefferson County Planning and Zoning Committee for public hearing on July 16, 2020. Whereas proposed amendments have been given due consideration by the Board of Supervisors in open session, now therefore be ordained that Jefferson County Board of Supervisors here does amend the official zoning map of Jefferson County as follows. I move for adoption of this ordinance.
Have a second. Have a second. Second by Supervisor Davis. Any discussion? Bernard? Okay. Thought I checked. I can't always see you. All in favor of adoption of this ordinance, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the ordinance is adopted. Any public comment of a general nature? Public comment of a general nature? Seeing none, we have announcements back on the schedule, and I know that Supervisor Bernard has been on.
Yes, I do. I hope you can all hear me. I just wanted to remind the members of the survey that went out about meeting places and technology. The executive committee is anxious to know your view on this before we develop a plan moving forward. So there's a deadline, I think, of next week, Friday, to return that survey, and your thoughts are eagerly sought by the committee. So thank you.
Any other announcements? Any other announcements? Speaker, anything else? Okay, it's nice to see you again, Blair, even though you're on a very small picture. He is now back in Texas. In quarantine. I will entertain a motion for adjournment. There's no discussion on motion for adjournment. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you all very much.